Welcome back to ActivTrades News. Should we be fearful of the financial markets? Markets are often volatile at the end of the year, and then they start to settle down as a new year begins. Not this year though. More than $2.3 trillion was wiped off of global stocks last week as China's slowing economy and currency depreciation spooked investors across the globe, leading to the worst start to a year for markets in at least 2 decades. Has China opened a new front in its war on speculators? Transitions can be dangerous things, and China's shift to a more market-based foreign exchange regime seems particularly troubled, with China apparently trying to curb currency depreciation by buying up renminbi offshore, preventing the growing carry trade and driving the cost of borrowing to a record high. The spread between the tightly controlled onshore US dollar rate for the renminbi and the weaker rate offshore skyrocketing to a record last week suggests international investors were betting the renminbi would weaken far more sharply than the People's Bank of China was comfortable with. The bull, the bear, and crude oil. Where do prices go from here? In the first half of 2015, it was tempting to believe that sanity had returned to the international oil market. Yet, the sell-off that has hammered oil prices continued last week as prices of benchmark Brent crude and US marker West Texas Intermediate toyed with $30 a barrel for the first time in a dozen years, taking its decline since the summer of 2014 to more than 70%. This triggered further job cuts and fears that there is still worse to come. Morgan Stanley added to a growing number of voices warning that prices could slide to $20 a barrel. Coming up later this week, Thursday the 21st of January, we will see the ECB minimum bid rate, which is set by 6 members of the ECB Executive Board and 15 of the 19 governors of the Euro area central banks, who will vote on where to set the rate. The interest rate on the main refinancing operations that provide the bulk of liquidity to the banking system. That will be followed by ECB President and Vice President's interest rate statement, the ECB press conference, where the questions often lead to unscripted answers, which can often create heavy market volatility. Then on Friday the 22nd of January, the German and French flash manufacturing PMI, a level of diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers in the manufacturing industry. It is a survey of around 400 purchasing managers, which asks respondents to rate the relative level of business conditions, including employment, production, new orders, prices, supplier deliveries, and inventories. That's it for this week. Remember to join us again next week. Thanks for watching.